The Steven Spielberg Film and Video Archive at the United States Holocaust Memorial Museum contains about 1,000 hours of historical film, Holocaust-related moving images filmed during the 1920s, 1930s, and 1940s. In addition, our archive is home to over 200 hours of film that Claude Lanzmann did not use in his groundbreaking 1985 film, Shoah. It is a vast collection, including one interview more than 11 hours long that did not appear at all in his final edited film. For 14 years, our staff has been working on the reconstruction, preservation, and cataloging of this remarkable resource of outtakes. Almost 70% of the collection is now preserved and available for research by the public. Clips are available on the website of the United States Holocaust Memorial Museum, as are biographical and technical information and interview transcripts. For the program you're about to see, archive staff chose and edited parts of 3 interviews in English that will run just under an hour. Of the 45 interviews now available, many are in Polish, German, French, and Hebrew. Choosing a selection of excerpts from such a wealth of material was not easy. We particularly wanted to show scenes that reveal how much more Claude Lanzmann and his team captured on camera than he could put into his beautifully edited film, even though it runs roughly 9 hours. Shoah examines the killing process in great detail, focusing to a large extent on the experiences of the Sonderkommando, those prisoners who were forced to labor in and around the gas chambers. Our Unseen Interviews program shows other aspects of these witnesses' lives: families, escape, the will to survive, and attempts to warn the world about the Nazi genocide and to rescue Europe's remaining Jews. The first person you will see is Abraham Bomba, the Polish survivor you may remember from the barbershop scene in Shoah. Lanzmann's recent memoir, Le Lièvre de Patagonie, devotes more than 10 pages to his search for Bomba and the filming of this interview. Pay special attention to the tenderness with which Lanzmann treats this interviewee. The sympathy he shows towards Bomba mitigates the criticism sometimes leveled at Lanzmann that he bullied and pushed Bomba in order to obtain the emotional scene we witness in the barbershop. The second interview is with Peter Bergson, who doesn't appear in Shoah at all. Bergson was raised in Palestine, a nephew of the first chief rabbi of British-mandated Palestine. Bergson's real name was Hillel Cook. He led many efforts to alert the American public to the Nazi murder of the Jews, including the staging of the 1943 pageant of stage and film stars called We Will Never Die. This pageant was seen by tens of thousands of Americans in New York, Boston, Chicago, Hollywood, and Washington, D.C., where Eleanor Roosevelt was among those in attendance. You will see that Bergson reveals himself to be a man with extraordinarily passionate, sometimes controversial views about the actions and inactions of the United States government and the American Jewish establishment. The third interview features a remarkable Czech Jewish woman of whom there is merely a glimpse in the edited film. She was at Theresienstadt and Auschwitz and in German labor camps. In Shoah, Lanzmann uses Ruth Elias simply to provide a brief introduction to the history of the Czech family camp at Auschwitz, while the powerful denouement is reserved for 2 of the film's male protagonists. In Unseen Interviews, Ruth Elias shares a tragic and heartbreaking story of her own, recalling experiences that could only have been endured by a woman. It's in the nature of this material that some parts of these interviews are very difficult to listen to. Also, English is not the interviewee's first language, and they often use German words that were part of the vocabulary of the concentration and death camps. We hope this glimpse of the museum's vast archive of Shoah outtakes inspires you to view online more of Claude Lanzmann's unseen interviews.